You ready then? Ready for the alright YouTube? I ain't done it for a while. Right, you're in loads of this today. Alright YouTubes, in today's video what we're going to be doing? We're going to be pulling the Astra, working on the Vauxhall Astra that I bought from Copart that's been stuffed in the back. So today we're going to start repairing this back panel on this. So if you haven't seen the previous videos, I bought a Vauxhall Astra from Copart on a 2023 and it's been hit in the back quite substantial. Boot floor, rear panel, tailgate, quarter, and loads of other bits and bobs around it. So today we're going to start pulling it. We've got it in and Reese is just yeah and Reese is just trying to see what's wrong with the front door at the moment, because the door handle was seized and it wouldn't open, and you can see it's been smashed on the front door glasses. Looks like, well, people said in previous comments, looks like it might have been a police chase and they've been trying to get in there, and I think someone's been yanking on the handle and it may have been locked, and it's just seized solid, so we can't open and shut the door from the outside. It opens from the inside. So Reese is just having a look at that, see what's going on there. I've pretty much got all the parts for this now. I've got a new wing here for it and all the other bits, tailgate, bumper, everything else. If you see in the previous video, we've got pretty much all the parts. There's going to be a few little bits. I've got the seat belts out of it now. It's all stripped out, and I've got the seat belts out of it, and they're being sorted out. So that's being taken care of. And yeah, we're just going to record today and see how far we get, and see if we can start straightening this car out. Hopefully I'm going to be able to repair this without having to put a new back panel boot floor in it. But until I start pulling it and see how well it pulls, I'm not going to know. But I'm pretty confident it should be able to repair all this. Good access both sides. It's not the strongest metal. This is all mild steel, back panel and everything. It's in quite a bit. This is very high strength steel, this one. This is ultra high strength steel, this brace. So this is going to give me a good anchor point to initially start trying to pull. It's going to be a bit of work today. Like I said, we're going to have to get this ramp out of here because it's in the way, but I need it up in the air. I'm going to get it up in the air, see if I can drop the exhaust out the way far enough. If not, I'm going to have to take the exhaust off, get all that stripped out, and then go and get my dozer and see if that works. I haven't used it for about 15 years, and get it all set up on the dozer and start trying to pull this. Just start cracking on with it and get on with it. So that being said, I'm going to get on with it. Right, so we've fixed the door handle and that seems to work now. I wasn't too sure what had caused it. What had happened is it wouldn't open up fully, so we couldn't get the handle out of it, because that little, I don't know if you can see that little metal plate there, there's like a little lever that springs back, and that had sprung back, and it sort of locks into that square there, and what that does is then stop that handle from fully opening. So whether it got forced when someone was trying to open it with it locked, whether that's what it's supposed to do, but yeah, it stopped that. So we couldn't get the handle out, so I undone this screw here, which funny enough has got a left-handed thread for some reason. Took that out, and then it all sprang back, everything fell out. This thing with the spring on fell out, and then we managed to get the handle out, got the carrier out, and just googled some pictures of the part number and see what position it was in, put it all back in the position it should be in, and now it all works fine. So it must be some sort of deadlock. If something gets forced, that pushes, I know you can't really see it, but that pushes that round and it clips into this square hole, and stops the handle from fully opening. So that's one job out of the way. So we're going to get it up in the air now, get the exhaust off, or get it out of the way, whichever suits. It probably be better to get it fully off, and then we need to get the ramp out, and I need to go and get my dozer and start looking at all that, make sure all that works, start pulling it. Right, we're going to take the tailgate off first. Hey, yeah, take that earth off, yeah. And I think this is just washer. Got a blade? No. aerial, isn't it? I'll have to take these handles out, I think. Not sure where this one goes.
Like what's wiring in it or not?
Yeah, so everything's on it. The metal ones. Chasing this one. Got the water pipe off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where does it go? I want to crease the headline in. Drop this handle out. This goes to the aerial, I think, mate. Is there a connector in there? Yeah, I think we've dropped that headline in because we're going to crease it all otherwise. Just get these back grab handles out, should be enough. Under here. How do these come out?
Have you got a new tool for these?
Yeah, for Volkswagen, I think it is.
I'm just going to do this side first. I can hold it. The best way of doing this.
Well, just get them undone, because keep it in position. What? I'm making.
Oh.
I mean, all the spoiler, everything's good. I mean, you don't do that carrier and it would drop. It dropped quite a bit. So you just drop it first because there ain't no joins. It's got to come up from the top up there. See where they've lifted it on the forklift? Bastards. Right. Got a posi screwdriver. Where did that go, mate? I'll leave that one in. Right then, YouTubes. It's 2 days later and I think I'm ready to pull. So we've got the exhaust off the car. That was a bit of a mission. Had to drop all the axle out the way. Anyway, it's all on the dozer now. We've got the dozer on. The ramps, we took the ramp out of here. I had some issues with the dozer. The little pressure switch. It's a Black Hawk, really old one, but decent Black Hawk car. And they still make this particular model, well, virtually the same model. It's quite expensive and I do need some parts for it. So it was leaking. I've managed to sort out one leak that was in there. Some O-rings. It does leak out of here under a bit of pressure. Leaks out the union there, but the switch the switch had like worn away the top of it and it just wouldn't press down far enough. I'd have to push it in, so made it a bit of a pain to use with your foot. So I took it all apart. I think I lost something, I broke something. I had it apart for probably about a day, taking it apart. So it's the air motor, what do they call it? Poppet
piston or something.
Yeah, poppet switch or poppet piston. I need one little seal for it and I'll be able to fix it. I think the seal may have come out, it flew out on me when I took it all apart because I had the airline connected to it. But anyway, it's been a right mission, but I've managed to doctor it and it does work. And yeah, we've got it on the dozer now, so we're going to give it its first pull. I've had a little trial run. I just used a little strap there to see if it would go under tension, and it did. So this is what I'm going to try and pull first. Is just try and pull this floor from here. I think that's ideal to pull on that little bracing piece, because that's ultra high strength steel there, so it'd be hard to do any damage to that, and if it does, it does, but it isn't damaged and the rest of it is, so that tells you something. So yes, it's a little bit on the up. I'm on the last notch on there with the chain and the strap, but yeah, see if I can get some tension out of this. So I'm just going to get a load of heat into it, try and get it as warm as possible, and my glamorous assistant is going to film it coming out, and we'll see how well it comes out on the first pull. Probably would have paid to put the heat lamp on it for a while.
I thought that. But...
This is the bit we want the most heat in, is this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not even tension yet. It's going now. I'm nearly fully extended on that. Oh, she ain't too bad. Rear panel's put away.
Primary, get that.
We're pulling on there a bit too much, but let's have a little tap about.
Pro angles right now.
That's pulled away there, it's panel bolt. Not sure on the shape, see?
You need to see one, didn't you?
Yeah. Biggest thing is getting this crease, but we are pulling on this bolt. That is what's pulling that floor now. Is that bolt, which ain't ideal. You know what I mean? It's just that bolt's pulling now. Right, let's pull some, innit? Obviously we're pulling this away now.
Relatively flat now.
Yeah, it's getting there. We need to try and take this crease out, but it's obviously, look, it's pulling on the rear panel on the welds now, which ain't no good. It's pulling the rear panel more than the floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then there's the floor How much more has the floor got to go?
Quite a bit. If we make this back up.
Might if you was to like put the strap over through that hole and then over the whole thing. Well, no, so, it'd be put on there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're just going to pull the metal.
Literally are.
Yeah. Right then, YouTubes. It's the following day again. I've been having a bit of trouble with this dozer with leakages and it not holding pressure. But I think I've got it to work now. So it's not perfect, but it's working. The foot pump's working. It's doing what it's doing. It's getting some good tension. And yeah, I've just been messing about changing the height of the vehicle and stuff. But I've done a little bit more pulling, and it's pulling it out. And yeah, a bit of hammer and dolly work in here, and it's straightening. It's still a bit of a kink in here, and it's still humped in places. Trouble I've got is I need to pull on the lip of this floor. And the only bit really, when I was pulling with a strap, is cut into the rear panel through that hole and split it, which I'm not overly concerned about because I'll just weld that back up. If I go lower, the chain slips a little bit, so it is pulling up a little bit. And there's, you know, I'm pulling on the welds. I'm not pulling on the lip of the floor. Really, I need the rear panel out of the way so I could put, you know, get on the lip of this floor and pull it that way, which may be an option at the moment. I'm not going to start drilling out these spot welds. Trouble is, I'll have to get this brace off, and I think I do need to get this brace off. So I'm pulling on that bolt, pulling on them welds. It's not welded here. It's panel bonded here as well. So it's, yeah, it's pulling, but it's not pulling in the exact spot that I want it to. Like I say, ideally I want to get on, if the rear panel was out, I'd get on that floor. But I'm just going to get underneath and do a bit more hammer and dolly while it's under tension, because this is flattened out quite nice, to be fair. Still a bit humped here, but I'm going to change position. It's sort of double lipped here. The lip sort of disappears on the rear panel under here, so it's hard to grab hold of that lip, so it's still a little bit crushed in there. And I do need to get on the back of this rear panel, but I'm going to try and straighten this up a little bit more, and then change the position. And then next I need to get the tailgate on and start pulling this top over a little bit, see where the tailgate sits in relation with this catch, and then go from there. If I've got to unpick a bit of the rear panel, take that brace off, then I will. It's going to be a lot of tapping about, but it's pulling all right, to be fair. Then I think I'm going to get the porta power in there, try and protect some of this, put some wood across stuff and go off of this here, push from the back as well at the same time. Try and get this as relatively flat and where I think it should be as much as possible. It's really hard to tell whether some of these, because of the intricate shape of it all, is knowing which bits of bumps are supposed to be there and which bits aren't. Without having another one here, I may see if I can Google an image of it just in case I'm flattening him. And like that, I thought that was a hump originally, but that looks like that's part of the press, to be fair. It's too the shape's too precise to be a bit of damage, I think. I don't want to start hammering stuff out that doesn't need hammering out. I just want to get this crease out nice and flat, and then I'm going to panel beat all the rear panel back, try and sort these holes out a little bit, and then we'll get the tailgate on, see where we're at with it, and go from there. one needs to go to you. Still tight as spook. Look at that. What's going on there? Tight. It's gone the opposite way now.
We're not just adjust your side then? Or is it come over to you?
Yeah. A little bit. I reckon it needs to go in the middle. Go right back, right forward.
Yeah.
I don't think it's probably. I won't be too overly concerned about that at the minute because there's going to be adjustment with a bit of repairs and stuff that might move yet anyway. Let's have a look how far away it is inside.
Well, I think it's close though.
Oh, I reckon if you shut it hard enough, it'll shut. No, I'm joking, Yeah, it's about 2 inches away. There's a massive gap there. So this side is right over here. I reckon, obviously the rubber ain't on. It might pay to put the rubber on. I need to be pulling it on the deck really.
No.
But I don't think that foot will get under. Right, so I've got the tailgate on. I haven't lined it up perfectly, but it's near enough. It's like obviously not going in the latch at the minute. But I've got the back pretty even, pretty level. So I've adjusted it just really on the back. It's a little bit tighter this side. It's got to get in the latch and everything yet, so there'll be loads more adjustment. But it's not far off, so that'll do for now. You know, you can see there's a little bit of a hump there, which is nothing because there's single skin all in there anyway. See, the quarter's all kinked. So you can see how far away that is and how big the gap is at that end compared to that end. So this side's all going over, and you can see it's bulged in there. Not so much this panel. I don't want to go panel beating this panel, which I could no problem straighten that up. I want to pull it first and see how much of this moves as it is. And the gap's still a little bit tight, but if you look in here, you know, it's quite far away. And if you look down it, you can see it's sort of rolled over. So it needs pulling this way, it needs pulling out, it needs pushing. You can see where it's sort of, it should be up straight like this here, but it's not. I'm not worried about all this skin now, but my main objective is I want to try and save these panels, so I don't want to go just putting holes in it and just pushing and pulling from anywhere and not have to worry about the panel because I'm just getting it out for cutting off. It'd be a lot quicker. From the inside, I do want to do some pushing on the inside, but I want to be careful not to create too much damage in there because it's all, apart from it all bulging, which it is bulging all down here, the floor ain't bad. There's a little bit of a bulge there and there's a bit more dressing up to do in here, but I'm just going to leave that for a minute. And it's still a little bit bulged here, but I'm going to move and pull a little bit more on the bottom. So there's a bit more purchase on the boot floor, a bit more of a lip on these sides, but we're not far out. And apart from knowing the exact shape in here, I'm not far out at all in here. And compared to how creased that was, ideally I'd want this brace out of the way, but if I can get round it I will, because I don't want to drill them spot welds out and plug it, because you've got ultra high strength steel welding to, you know, mild steel, so can always be a risk of just burning through the other to get good penetration and fix on this. So I'm going to leave it in for now. Be awkward dressing it all up. But I'm happy with the floors. It's coming out well. There's still little kinks and little bulges here and there, but I want to start addressing the top now, and then I'll work my way back down there again. Get the top in, and then it's a bit more dressing up. Like I said, I just want to give it a tug on the sides a little bit, just so I can pull the floor a bit more, and then I'll do more tapping in there. And then a case of trying to straighten all this up, pull all this out. I've got this dip should be here, but it's uneven because the dip's kinked in here. All this will pull no problem. You know, there is small little bits like this. I noticed that's in there. You know, it's probably where the bumps stop, you know, from the impact, and there's still the kinking and a little bit of a crease up here. It's definitely more creased up here. So again, once it's under tension, to tap that and it might, you know, release some tension there. And again, while it's under tension, start panel beating this quarter panel. But let's just give it a pull. What I'm going to do now is, this is the furthest bit in. I'm going to get a clamp onto here and pull straight here, push on here, brace it across with some wood across here, come off this back here, and do a bit of push and pull at the same time. Getting there, fannying about with the dozer and sorting all that out and getting the ramp out. It took longer than it has to do this pull. That's the trouble with not being set up for it, really. But anyway, let's crack on with it, and I'll get a clamp on that and we'll start giving that a little tug. Oh, we're a lot better now. Shut. A bit more in the middle, I reckon. Well, they're shutting now. I reckon a bit here and a bit here. Mate, that's better. One more for luck. Oh, right. So show that gap. That's opened up for sure. That's good. That gap, definitely. I don't really need to worry about even some of that kinking. Well, it's still there. But it has straightened that a little bit, that arch, to be fair. I might just give that a little tap about now, actually. It's under tension at the minute, that's still rolled over. But that little murmur that was in there, that little kink, it has got a slight bump in it anyway, same as the other side, but it was more proud, so it had gone there. It moved there, only slightly. A little tap with a block of wood and that's gone. And there was a low in there and that's popped out. We'll see what that gap looks like when I relieve the tension. I think I'm going to give it a little tug in the middle. And I may even give it a little tug over here. And then I'm going to start on the bottom and tug that a little bit more. I need to just try and pull this lip here a bit more. Where there's a good bit of floor lip, that's where I need to pull, because it's really just pulling on the spot welds otherwise. Hopefully I can leave this in now. And then have a good hammer and dolly around this rear panel. Not really cause much damage in here, but I can get to the majority of it. And then sort this lip, you know, it needs to pull forward a little bit. So does this one. But let's let that tension off, see what the boot shut's like. And then maybe do a couple more pulls in the middle and on the other side. And that's definitely, well, let's have a look at the other side. That's definitely opened that up without a doubt. Yeah, it's the same. It's probably over a little bit under where it's under tension, but let's have a look. I'll put the camera there, see if it records it going back. Oh, it has gone back slightly. Right, we'll see how well it shuts now. Definitely a bit of panel beating. I'll do a little bit more around that just while it was under tension. And I'd say that gap's definitely opened up now. It looks pretty much the same as the other side. Let's see what it shuts like. Oh, we ain't far off at all. We ain't far off at all there. Shuts nice. From bump stops. Use the rubber on. Let's get the rubber on. Right on YouTube, so we're getting there, and I'll give you a look at it so far. So your tailgate opening and shutting now. Not perfectly. Most of the boot floors panel beaten. I want to do a bit more fettling. There's a little bit more to do over here, and I may be giving it another little pull. But it shuts, and the gap's pretty decent there. That's pretty much where it needs to be. Same up here. It is sitting a bit high on this side tailgate. I've messed about with the corner of this quarter panel because it was sort of, it had a slight little bulge in it. It was only slight, but it was definitely a bit misshaped. So I've just braced a block of wood there and just been tapping from underneath to try and take a bit of that out. And the tailgate needs adjusting. It's really low here. So yeah, it needs adjusting. This I can't do it on my own. This is the right pain. The height it is and the position that the car's in, the tailgate hits the light where my floor's uneven. If I take the gas strut off, because I need to take gas struts off to adjust it, you're fighting against them otherwise if you don't take them off when you do tailgate adjustments, just bonnet adjustments, stuff like that. I can't get it high enough because it's hitting the light once I took it off to get it back on, so I have to lower it all down off the jacks every time. And then it's difficult holding the tailgate up with one hand, trying to move it and adjust it. And it was a little bit better than this, and I tried to adjust it on my own and made it worse. So I'm going to get that adjusted properly. I'll do that when Reese is here. I ain't even moved the catch in here yet, so I may even have a little play. It don't open too bad. A little bit of adjustment on there. A little bit more fettling on that. I've got that not far off where I want it to be, and it's all nice. It's all looking all right there. So a little bit more fettling, easy enough because it's single skin. With the old cheap metal in these cars, risk of it stretching a little bit and start popping in and out, especially on the arch, just like being on a wing. That would be once you tap them back in, they just start popping in and out and flopping. So yeah, they can be a little bit tricky. Thin single skin wheel arch is still a bit bold, so a bit more fettling on that. Get this adjusted to where I want it to be, and then start working on this outer rear panel. I'm not going to lift the boot up. There's a bit of kinking going on here and there, so I'm going to do a bit of pulling. Just be pulling with the GYS, either the pulling tower, or may just put the eyes on and stuff and use the dozer. So start pulling, dressing all this outer, and then I'm going to work on this bottom lip and the rest of the floor. I've made a bit of a mess of this. I'm a bit annoyed with myself, but this is all learning for me, so it's something I've learned, so I can take that from it. When I used the strap, I did have a thinner strap in there, which probably would have worked all right, but just being overcautious, I bought a proper strap for pulling, and I didn't want it to snap on me or anything like that. It's really old. But when I used it on this bracing bar, when it started really pulling and started pulling the floor, it cut its way through through the hole. What I should have done was just brace the block of wood across it to keep the straps a bit straighter, stop them from pulling inwards, you know. That's annoyed me a little bit. It's made a bit of a mess of it, but I'll sort it out. You know, once I get everything where I want it to be metal wise, I'll get the holes as best I can. They can sometimes be a bit tricky to flatten right out because you stretch the metal around that edge. I'll then weld that little split up. I'm going to be doing filler work inside the boot floor and on this outer rear panel, and a little bit on the inner rear panel as well. So it's all going to get painted inside and out. I'm going to match this just like this is. See if I can get a spectro image somewhere on the car with no overspray on, a bit further up in the boot, of the electrico colour, prime it properly, colour it, try and do some wispy base coat and flash a clear coat in places. So yeah, this is all dressable. And yeah, this is my main area now that I've got to sort out. So yeah, I'm pleased with it. You know, I'm a bit overcautious. I haven't used this. I've only used this dozer once or twice really in my whole career, apart from when I was an apprentice and I was just labouring for it then. I wasn't doing the pulling as such. So I am a bit inexperienced in this side of things, the heavier stuff. But it come out easy, to be honest with you. I think it come out easy. It's just obviously takes me a lot longer because it's not something I'm doing day in, day out here. But the dozer's worked. It's worked all right. I'm going to see if I can get this sort of fixed up a little bit instead of buying anything else, because it's definitely usable still. And it worked. I managed to get round it. It was a pain trying to sort out the switch on it. Sorting out this dozer and getting the ramp out of here and setting it all up took way longer than doing this job, which it is what it is. But now it's you know, it's there now, ready for me to use again in the future. And yeah, I know what I can do to get it sorted out. So that's going to be it for this one. Yeah, next video we'll get on sorting the rest out. Once I get all this back panel dressed up and everything where I need it to be and all lined up and everything trial fitted, then the rest of it's plain sailing. It's a bit of pin pulling and repairs, which what we do day in, day out. Get all that done, we'll get that done pretty quick, and then preparation and get it up to paint. So next video will be combination, I think, of getting all this rear panel sorted out, getting everything lined up, and see how far we get on. And then yeah, next move on to the filler work and get it ready for paint. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe and all that good stuff. And we'll see you again in the next one. Look after yourselves. Cheers.